Riding in the rain is not fun at all. I don't think that you'll ever find a rider that like it, but sometimes we do what we got to do. In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 tips how to make it safely. Stay with me. Welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Pavlin, I'm a motorcycle traveler. In this channel I usually upload anything related to long motorcycle trips, so you might consider subscribing. Back to the topic, how to ride in the rain safely. The very first advice I can give you is to avoid it. Of course, if you have this chance. To ride in the rain is not that dangerous as most of you believe, but of course it has some risk, maybe double more than a normal dry days. Pavlin, what are you talking about? Your advice how to ride in the rain is don't ride in the rain? Did you lose your mind? Calm down. I'm gonna give you the tips, I promise. What I'm saying with this is that if you don't have something urgent, if you're not on hurry, better is to wait 2-3 hours or even day, not gonna change anything. It's always better to stay on the safe side. If you have nothing so important, wait. It will be much more pleasant and safely if you ride when it's not raining. That's it. Tip number 1, prepare yourself and the bike. The rain never comes just like that. You will see it, you will smell it, you will know about it. Thanks to the modern telephones, you will know at least one day in advance. You check the forecast and you will know that on that day it's going to rain. When I said prepare yourself, I mean put on your rain gear. Even if you have a waterproof riding gear, it's still worth it to have your rain gear on the top, because nothing lasts forever. Even the best gear will start leak after 4-5 hours, and then it's going to be a problem. Even if it's not leaking, it will soak so badly that in the cold days you'll start to feel the cold, and if you don't have the chance to dry it, especially if you don't have a hotel, if you plan to sleep in the tent, on the next day you have to ride wet again, which is not fun at all. Make sure that you have a proper wind stopper, something like this, or even better, to cover all of your head, or if you don't have, at least a hoodie, because this is nothing worse than to feel the drops going inside here and going into your neck, especially when the weather is cold. It's just terrible. What I also do is always to keep the gloves on the top of the jacket, like that, not underneath. When the weather is hot, I usually keep the gloves underneath of the jacket and close it with the jacket, but when it's rain or on the cold days, I close the jacket and put the gloves on the top. When I have a rain gear, I close my jacket, I have the gloves on the top, and on the top of the gloves I put my rain gear. So I try to isolate as maximum as possible. Also, always keep your pants on the top of the boots, like this. You don't need to put your pants in the boots, because all the rain will go into the boots. Even if they are waterproof, they're gonna leak inside, and this is again so bad, especially on the cold days. Another important point from the preparation is to make sure that your luggage is safely tightened and properly closed. You can't just trust on the labels of the bags. If you have a precious things inside, make sure that you have a double insulation. You can put it in the waterproof box and then have it in your waterproof cases or bag or whatever you have. At least this is what I do. It's the same for your tank bag. Usually some of the tank bags like this are water resistant, so this bag will survive small drops. When the serious rain will go in, and that's why I have a rain cover, which I keep it here in this pocket, and as soon as it starts rain, I cover my tank bag because, for example, I keep all of my camera gear inside, and I want to have it like that as usual. Even that I already got a video like this, so many people ask me how to ride in the rain, how to cover everything in the rain, how to protect my gear and all stuff like that. That's why I decided to make this video again with more details, just to tell you and remind you what you have to do. The water goes everywhere. Try to stop it. That's it. Nothing so serious. Another very important point to check is the pressure of the tires. Read what your manual says and keep it exactly what it should be. Too low or too much will affect your stability on already not so comfortable situation. Also keep in mind that the dual sport tires behave differently than the normal street tires. When all of this is done, when you prepare yourself and the bike and check everything what I just said, then you can go. Tip number 2 is to ride gently. To ride in the rain is like to ride on the dirt roads. You have to make it with the speed that you can control. And don't let anyone to push you, press you, or to disturb you, because at the end the safety is everything. And always keep in mind that the first 15 or 20 minutes will be the most dangerous, because all of the dust and also on the surface will mix with the water and will be very slippery. After that will be fine. Be careful with the throttle, don't twist too much, keep it as steady as possible. Now is not the right moment to show the rest of the guys how good you are. There will be more than enough sunny dry days and you can enjoy your motorcycle, no doubts about it. Now is the moment to survive, keep it steady, keep it safely. And also don't tilt too much. Be careful with the brakes, especially on the corners. If you have ABS, that's fine, good. If you don't have, don't panic. Be gentle and everything is going to be alright. Tip number 3 is to keep distance. Distance is one of the most important things to learn when you ride a motorcycle. The cars usually stop much faster than motorcycles because they have 4 wheels. We have only 2, and if the surface is compromised, like wet or ice, even worse, then we can't stop it. When you have more distance, you'll be able to react if someone stops unexpectedly in front of you, and then you will have this time for reaction time. And if you see that you are not going to be able to stop on time, please do not make the most stupid mistakes I ever seen, is to drop the bike down and slide. No, try to avoid the collision, go left or right. Let me play you a short clip and then we'll continue talking. Before you blame the driver, let me tell you that it was absolutely 100% my mistake. When we have these tiny bridges, the cars need to stop and let the opposite traffic to go. So it is a rule, it is not a mistake of the driver, but I saw this too late and I tried to stop. I pressed the brakes, but because of the wet surface and ice grit on the road, I was just sliding, and in some stage I realized that I'm not gonna be able to stop, and then I decided to take this left, and actually by the luck I always got, I was able to avoid the collision. Tip number 4 is to be careful with all the white lines and metal covers on the road. This is especially valid for the cities when we have these tram lines. They are the most dangerous, and metal covers and white lines and sidewalks, and this is everywhere around the cities, but even outside of the cities on the country roads you can face many more like that. For example, I have seen in Slovenia, I remember this very well, on very sharp bends they mark these white lines like this, one after another, just to inform the drivers to slow down. But when it's rainy, all this became like a sliding, terrible. So it's good for the drivers but terrible for the motorcyclists. So when you see it, you always need to try to keep the bike as straight as possible. Don't twist the throttle, don't press the brakes, you just need to go over it. Be careful with the potholes, especially when they're full with water. You don't know how deep they are. You might go very easy, but you might lose your front wheel on it. So when you have, as I already said, gentle riding, a responsible throttle, and slowly riding and good distance, you will be able to react on all of this, especially when you don't know the roads. If it is in your city, you know all the dangers, all the obstacles, but when you're in different country, you have no idea. That's why you have to ride like a preventive riding, or to be ready to stop at any moment, or to expect anything. This will be maybe the best advice I can give you. Expect anything and you'll be fine. Tip number 5 is to overtake very gently, like a newbie. Make sure that the drivers know exactly where you are, especially with the trucks. They've got these big machines with so many wheels, and when it's rain, all of these wheels split the water like a fountain behind the truck, and for them you are absolutely invisible. And if you combine all of this with the foggy mirrors and probably distracted from a telephone, from radio, from cigarettes, it's a very dangerous situation. I don't need even to remind you that your light needs to be always on. Luckily, on all the new models you can't really turn it off, but some of the old models still need to be turned on manually, so make sure that the light is on. If you have some additional lights, auxiliary lights, fog lights or whatever, use it now. Make your bike more visible. If you don't have, don't panic, you'll be alright. You can switch to high beam and don't even worry about it. You're not gonna blind anyone unless you ride in the night. But to ride in the night in the rain is something that I will never recommend to anyone. And one bonus tip, and it doesn't matter in what weather you're going to ride, rain or not, it's always to do it in your own limits. Never put yourself in the situations that you cannot control, and always keep in mind that the accidents are happen very fast, just like that, and no one is really prepared about it. If you have nothing to do, click on that window here. It will show you how to ride in the winter. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Ciao.